Welcome to another episode of Oleh at Large, Aliyah Stories. All right, welcome back to Oleh at Large, Aliyah Stories. This is David Levine, and I'm very happy to have Deb Kaye as part of the podcast today. I've been to a number of Deb's shows in Tel Aviv. Deb is a comedian, and you'll hear about her Aliyah story and how she's found her way to the stages of Tel Aviv. So, Deb, welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks, David. So you're not going to tell everybody about my misbehaving in the first introduction?
Oh, I will. Don't worry.
Okay, fine. I wonder how many introductions we're going to do. This could be 30 minutes of introduction.
Yeah, this is going to be it. Don't worry.
Deb continually misbehaves and fucks up. Okay, so you want to know, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah, you can swear.
Okay. So what was the question?
When did you make Aliyah?
Okay, so I made Aliyah in, oh God, it's so long ago, 1996.
Wow. Okay, so that's like before the internet, before mobile phones, really, kind of, or no?
Oh, wow. David, I really thought you were a nice guy, but the wow followed by technology that wasn't invented yet it hurt. It hurt a little bit, but let's keep going.
So in all seriousness, so in 1996, it was a very different scenario, right? So did Nefesh B'Nefesh even exist back then? Did you have any help? Like, what was it like?
Nefesh, it's not I'm Australian, so we don't do Nefesh B'Nefesh. Shit, what was it called? This Zionist Federation of Australia. That's what we have. And we don't get money. So you get like a free shipment and a free flight one way. No one tells you that. You're pretty much starting with not that much.
Did you make Aliyah by yourself? Were you with a family? What was your life like when you made that decision?
I made Aliyah a year after I got married to another Aussie person who I'm not married to anymore. But yeah, so we made Aliyah together a year after our wedding, where we came with no money and no idea what we were doing and basically nothing. I think we had some furniture from the cheapest furniture shop in Australia that you can find. But we figured, what's the difference where we're going to be poor, you know? Might as well be poor here. So with very little thought, we just said, okay, should we go? I'm like, all right, yeah, let's do it.
So where did you come from in Australia?
So I'm from Sydney. Yeah,
oh, okay.
I grew up there. Yeah.
And back then, were a lot of people making Aliyah from Sydney? Or was this like, were you a bit more of a trailblazer? Or was there an Aussie community here to connect to?
I'm so tempted to say I was a trailblazer because that sounds so fucking awesome. I think other people have done it before me. You know, considering how many Jews are there, and don't ask me the number because I'm terrible at statistics, but Australia does pretty good in the Aliyah rate proportionate to how many of us are there. It's a very Zionistic community, so all the kids are in some form of youth movement. There's Habonim and Hanani, and I was a B'nai Akiva girl in my better behaved days, and you get, you know, all the camps and the activities, and then you come on a year program after school and you have a good time. And I was meant to learn in yeshiva, but I kissed a lot of boys. And I thought, wow, Israel's amazing. I should move here because you kiss people. And so that was, you just love Israel so much. It's just how we're brought up,
right?
You know?
Where did you move to when you first made Aliyah?
We moved to Merkaz Klita, an absorption center in Ra'anana. It was a bit of a nice cushy start, you know, soft landing.
Nice.
It's like, and when you're married with no kids, so it's just literally one bedroom and a tiny little kitchen. But we didn't really care at that time. And you make friends in the air, like, you know, there were South Africans and British people, and we had a lot of fun. It's like being grown-up camp, you know, so we were there for like 7 months.
Right. It's a bit of a different scenario than now. I've heard this as well, like where you move here and you're part of a group of people that are all moving here at the same time, and that becomes a found family in a way.
Oh.
And you learn with each other.
Oh, they come as a group.
Right. So once you were done with that, did you master the language? Because that's a big part. Not so much?
Just give me a second, because I've been here for 29 years and I have a suspicion I'm not going to learn it at this debate. You know, if it hasn't come now, I'm a little concerned. You know, I'm 51 years old. It's really embarrassing. I think I'm speaking brilliantly. And when I speak to my sister in Hebrew, we understand each other. However, Israelis don't know what I'm saying. It's really difficult. And I cheat. I try to speak to English speakers as much as I can. because I don't want to look like an idiot. I've done stand-up in Hebrew a few times and they were yelling from the audience, Bavakasha, tadabri ba'anglit. And I'm like, wow, these poor people. They've gone through a war. Have they not suffered enough? And now they have to listen to my shit, Hebrew.
So now, how long have you been a comedian? Have you been a comedian since you moved here, or is this something new, or is this like, how does this happen?
How does this happen to a person, right? How does this happen to a semi-normal person? Well, listen, I was kind of a theatre kid, and so I loved being in plays, and I was just always naturally a smart ass. And comedy floated through my head every so often because I could see people react when I said things, and I didn't know how to sit and write. I was like, I can't do it. I don't know how to write. I just know how to say something funny at the time. And a friend of mine said, you really should do it. Just sign up for an open mic and just fuck it, just do it. So instead of writing out jokes, I just wrote points down and then I just stood up there for 5 minutes and improvised it. And a lot of the stuff I do now is improvised and then I write it later. So I've only been doing comedy for 3 years. I started at 48, 47.
Wow. Okay, so what did you do in between your moving here and comedy?
Well, I was a lot of the time a stay-at-home mum, and then I dabbled in things. So I painted. I had a really stupid idea of running at Saharon. You know what those are?
No.
Oh, my God. Some friend of mine, she's meant to be my closest friend, told me you should do it Saharon, which is basically picking up 3rd grade to 6th graders from school at 1:30 and looking after them till 4:30, where the parents that have respectable jobs then come and pick them up from your house. And I was like, this is a brilliant idea. And so I had like 7 or 8 kids like coming to my house. It was a nightmare. I mean, I don't even know what I was thinking. I can barely cope with my own kids. And then I had these little Israelis there. But they were cute, they were cute. It's not what I'm used to, lots of lo bali, havili, od. Like there was pasta being thrown. By the end of it, they were speaking bits of English. They'd be like, not 1 second, akshav, because I would say 1 second like 10 million times a day. So that was one job I did. Then I worked for a psychedelic company that I co-founded for a few years. That was interesting.
Wait, a psychedelic company as in like selling psychedelics?
No. It was like conferences, and we started it actually before Corona, and it turned into like digital conferences. So I was like schmoozing with all of these professors who research psychedelics. It was pretty interesting. And then we got bought out by a public company, and then I stopped doing that. I enjoyed doing that. And then I just dove into the comedy. And once I started, I couldn't stop.
So how long were you doing the stand-up yourself before you started actually organizing comedy shows? Because that's what you do now, as well as being on stage.
Wow. Yeah, I know. I've really, people... It's funny because people will tell you things, what you can't do. And a lot of people would say, it takes 10 years before you're even semi-decent at comedy. And I'm like, fuck that. I'm 48. I don't have 10 years. I'm going to be going up there with my friggin' Filipino on stage if I wait 10 years. I'm going to be changing my diaper mid-set. I have to do this shit now. So I was like, I kind of like, without tooting my own horn, I just had like a natural comfort. I guess I'd had stage time a little bit, and I am myself. It's probably a little bit more extreme than I am in real. And obviously I'm not always like that, but it's pretty much me up there. And everything I say is exactly what's happening to me in my life. And so when I started thinking, it's going to take time and it's hard to get stage time because Hebrew's the main language. And I was like, shit, I've got to create my own stages because otherwise I'm not going to get stage time to practice and get better. So I actually... TLV Laughs, the one that you came to, I joined more recently. Originally, I started something called Anything for a Laugh, and I move around with different comedians to Bet Shemesh, Ra'anana, Modi'in, Jerusalem, and bring comedians, and we do a lineup all over because English speakers generally don't want to leave their house. It's very inconvenient.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just go there, And so that's been a lot of fun. And then actually TLV Laughs was founded by Benji Lovett and Limor Dahan, and Benji moved on to do something else, and I stepped in. And I perform for other comedians and their lineups. Like I do Funny Monday with Yochai Sponder and Shachar Hasson, as well as Anonymous Comedy, which is another great lineup. And I travel overseas for shows. I get private bookings. So it's just been full on. I've opened for Yochai's show, Self-Loving Jew, which is hilarious. If anybody's not seen it, they should go. I've opened for him 4 or 5 times, which is a great experience. And he's been really a mentor. And when I met him and he saw me, he was like nervous because I'm new. He's like, you're not ready. But then he said to me, it was such a compliment. He's like, Deb, you are Batman. I do not know where you come from. So it was like, it was such a compliment. And this whole comedy world's kind of found like this crazy little family of people that I adore, and at the ages from late 20 to 60s. And we're just kind of all these lunatics that get off on standing up there and trying to get people to have fun.
So what was your craziest experience in terms of doing a show where either it went horribly bad or amazingly well, that you were like really just surprised that you didn't think you were going to connect with this audience, but you just knocked it out of the park?
Oh, wow.
Or the opposite?
That's a hard one. Okay, so I had 2 really hard experiences that I can remember. One was I wasn't used to heckling in the traditional sense. I was used to conversing with audience and it being a lot of fun, but I had a really drunk British guy basically hitting on me. I was doing a joke about my mother and he's like, is she as hot as you? Is she as hot as you? Could I bang her like I could bang you? And he was like screaming out, and I was like, I didn't even know what to do because firstly it was so flattering, obviously.
Was he hot?
He wasn't bad, but the drunkenness, it was pre-vomit, so it wasn't really my cup of tea.
Right.
But I didn't really know how to react to that, so I didn't handle that. And the other was I went to New York and I was feeling really confident in myself, and I was hustling, get me on wherever I could. And I went to a Soho, it's so embarrassing. I went to Soho House and they happened to be doing a comedy show, but with proper like seasoned comedians from New York. And I begged the guy, come on, just give me just a couple of minutes. And he's like, you know what, I'll give you 4 minutes. But there was no warm up. I was the beginning and no introduction. And I got on stage and it was the 4 longest minutes. They didn't know. It was terrible. And I got off and these comedians, they're like, do you want to know what happened? I'm like, I'd rather you kill me. But yeah, tell me what I did wrong. And they're like, basically, if there's no warm up and there's no host, you don't get to really do your jokes. You have to warm up the crowd. Like you get the shittiest job. And that was a lesson learned. Like I never made that mistake ever again after it. So, it was worthwhile doing it. So, that's the problem with comedy. You don't know till you stand there and do it.
So when you do your comedy primarily in English for English-speaking audiences. How are the English-speaking audiences in Israel different than, let's say, the English-speaking audience that you might find in New York?
Oh, interesting. I don't know if I find them that different. I think I found in New York, and I find it here as well, that the English speakers that are coming just want to have a really good time. And when people come in with that attitude of like, I cannot wait to laugh, it's incredible. Like you have such a nice, I feel like I'm a connector. I connect with people really quickly. And so I feel that connection, whether it's a small crowd or a really, really big crowd. If people come in and they want to laugh, you're already like 10 steps ahead. Sometimes I've done Israeli English speakers where you have to prove yourself a little bit more. They're a little tougher sometimes. My accent can be challenging. I've realized afterwards that people were like, I didn't even know what you said because I speak really fast and my accent, not everyone speaks my English,
Yeah. At least you're not Scottish, because then that would be impossible.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So after October 7th, obviously, people not in a particularly laughing mood, I would think. But what's the timing or the process of making the decision to say, okay, now is the time to start coming back?
Yeah, that's a good question. Because I remember it so clearly. Obviously, everyone was just in shock and in a terrible state. And actually, it was Avi Lieberman, comedian from America, was here. He happened to have been here when it all broke out, I think. And he's like, he rang me, he's like, Debs, I've got a couple of volunteer shows. I think it was within days, to be honest, of everything happening. And he's like, I want to do a volunteer show. Some people have reached out. They're what do you call it? Look at me. This is when I don't know the word in Hebrew or English. Jesus Christ. Sorry. Moshe Rabbeinu. When people don't have their homes, mafunim, they've been moved out of their homes because of the war, and they want to do a show, and they're all in the Merkaz Klita or somewhere, and will you come? And I spoke to another comedian friend, Yossi Tarablis, and I'm like, Yossi, how am I doing this? He's like, not only should you do it, you have to do it. You absolutely have to do it. And I was like, how am I going to find anything? I didn't want to. I just literally wasn't in the mood. Who was in the mood to do anything? And I was like, sure, I'll do it. And so me and Yossi and Avi went down to Renana, and there were a bunch of people there. And can I tell you, it was just exhilarating for me, for them. Everyone just needed, because it's like the heaviness of what everyone was feeling, it's very hard to maintain that. Basically what I had said to them is like, we all feel like shit, right? But Jews, we don't stay down, and we need to refuel. Like, we need to refuel with laughter. It's what we've always done, right? We refuel with laughter. We can cry tomorrow. It'll be there. Okay.
Yeah.
And with the energy, then we get strength, and we can, keep doing the work that we want to do. And after that, I did like a bunch of volunteer shows, which were amazing. It hit a stage where I was like, okay, I need to feed the children and earn some money. But for a long time, we were doing the volunteer shows, and it was very rewarding for everybody. So it was really quick we were jumping in.
Interesting. Cool. So what is ahead for you? When's your next show? And in addition to that, like, what else would you love to be able to do?
Oh, wow. So I'm pretty fearless, and I feel like the sky's the limit. Like, I can do anything. And I don't know exactly what that looks like, but I'm going in November to do shows in New York, in Miami with another comedian, Dana Perry-Segar. So we've already booked gigs there, which is really exciting. I've done Pesach programs. I get private bookings, but, I want to build more comedy in Israel in English and grow overseas as well, obviously. And, I've got 4 boys. They're big, but I'm still their mum, and just rebuild my life. I only got divorced a few months ago. So, meet someone nice that can handle me. I'm a lot. I'm not everyone's cup of tea,
Hey, I hear you. I'm single also, and not everyone's cup of tea. So, you try your best.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So to find out about future shows and your activity, how should people get in touch with you? How should they follow you?
So you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Deb Kaye Comedy. And on Facebook, I'm also Deb Kaye Comedy, or Deborah, like DEBORAHK. And I post all my shows, so you'll see the ones all over the country as well as the ones in Tel Aviv and overseas. It's exciting.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, one last thing. For every episode of the podcast, we try to include a slang word from Israel, whether it's Hebrew, Arabic, or whatever.
Oh my God.
So we've done most of the typical ones like yalla and that sort of thing. So any good words, it could be a swear word, any good slang words that you can think of that would be a good word of the podcast.
Oh, wow. Do you know, it's so funny that you say that. I know this is probably meant to be quick, but I just find it so funny as English speakers that we really sound like idiots when we try to say the Hebrew slang. It just doesn't flow off our mouths the same way. It's like if I try to say, oh, mummy, kapara, I sound like a fucking idiot. So I try.
Right? Using the word mommy, I can't do it.
It's, I did it once to my son's mefakeret, and nobody felt comfortable. It was really bad. So you know what one I learned from Shahar Hassan? And I don't even know what it means, but you've got to do something with your finger at the same time. I think it's zippy. It's either with a B or a P. I don't know, zippy. And I think it's rude. I don't know. We have to look it up.
Okay.
You put your finger or something forward and you go zippy like that.
Okay, well, I'm going to look it up.
Should I chat GPT it?
Yeah, let's look it up real quick.
Okay. This is when chat GPT is trying to understand what the fuck I'm saying in Hebrew. Okay. Like, I feel bad. I say, chat, I'm so sorry. It's me again. It's really uncomfortable. Zippy. What is zippy in Hebrew? Are you looking it up, or am I doing it as well? Oh, here we go. It's borrowed from, oh, shit.
What does it mean?
This is such a full circle from when the podcast started, because the word zippy in Hebrew, slang and vulgar, originally borrowed from Arabic. It literally means my penis and is often used as a dismissive or mocking response, similar to saying, yeah, right, my ass, or bullshit in English. So zippy. David? Zippy.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
At large.
Zippy at large. Yes.
Exactly. It's a new name of your podcast, everyone. Thanks for coming to Zippy at Large with David Levine and Deb Kaye.
Excellent. Well, Deb, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And you've definitely been the funniest guest I've had. And you've certainly been the most cursing.
Oh, wow.
So it's awesome.
I'm honored. A trailblazer.
Yeah, trailblazer again. Amazing. All right, well, I will hopefully see you at a show soon.
Yeah.
So actually, when is your next show? Again, I know you were just saying a 17th, where?
The 17th is on Wednesday in Herzland in Bet Shemesh. And the next one is the 21st of September in Tel Aviv at Hudna Bar.
Oh, that'll be good. Tel Aviv. All right.
Yeah, that one suits. And you know what? You don't even have to pay now. You just come.
Oh, no. I'm not a schmuck.
No, you should pay. You should pay, definitely.
Yeah, no. You're providing value. You know what? If you want to buy me a drink, I'll be happy to have you buy me a drink.
You know what? You can have my free drink.
I'll take your free drink. All right. Thanks again, Deb.
Thanks, doll. Bye.
Take care. Bye. That's it for this episode of Oleh at Large, Aliyah Stories. I want to thank my guests and I want to thank you. Thanks for listening. Please give a like, give a follow, and catch you next time.